Hey, folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Southwest Virginia Fishing Report with Matt Reilly. Matt, how are you?
I'm not doing too bad, Marvin. How are you?
Just trying to stay cool. Sounds like you're in the same boat.
Yeah, it's been hot, been wet, just doing everything we can over here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to remember this because you always tell me you're so much cooler than we are, kind of on the other side of the mountain, so I now know it's hot where you are, too.
Yeah, well, it's definitely hot. It just depends on where you are. I mean, we were fishing down in Tennessee last week, and just 45 minutes to an hour from me south, it's creeping up into the mid 90s. You go north of me, and the highs are in the mid 80s. So it just kind of depends on your elevation and all, but it is definitely hot, and it's been fairly humid a lot of these days too.
Yeah, you were telling me it's kind of messed up your topwater groove.
Yeah, like I tell people in the summertime, I have a lot of options as far as water I can fish. So I am generally trying to chase the conditions that I want to fish and that are conducive to catching big fish consistently. And in the summertime, it generally means looking for good topwater bug fishing options. And we've been pretty thin in that department lately with a lot of high dirty water and isolated storm cells rolling through overnight. And so yeah, it's been a little bit of a challenge, but haven't lost any days until today, which was a little bit of a fluke, but it hadn't been too bad.
Yeah, and so, if you're, how do you kind of change things up? If you don't get exactly what you want, you're fishing this high, dirty water, kind of what do you shift to?
Man, a lot of streamer bait fish stuff. I wouldn't say dredging, but like, crayfish and been fishing a lot of chucks, critter mite ish type flies here lately, just sort of a wide range of tactics right now, just kind of trying to feel things out, working with the clarity and the speed of flow, because it's another thing you can deal with is, dirty water isn't always high and it's not always fast. And those are two very different, low to average flow and dirty water is a very different scenario than say high, swift, dirty water. So, just playing the subsurface game, trying to take flies to fish. And, yeah, that's really been it. Crayfish. When we get some color in the water and there's some speed, I'll go up in size a little bit in my streamer patterns, maybe kind of an intermediary between my normal like 3.5 inch summer type flies to, my spring pre-spawn stuff. So somewhere in the like 4.5, 5 inch range sometimes. But yeah, just seeing what the fish want day to day is always the name of the game.
Yeah, and so in terms of fishing dirty water, how do you like to kind of change your fly color?
Contrasty dark colors. I like black and blue, black and purple, some kind of coppery flash or, brush, estaz, whatever on different subsurface patterns are always good. Bottom contact can be a big deal because fish, smallmouth tend to orient to the bottom when their visibility is reduced dramatically. So sometimes the color is less important than making bottom contact. But I always, generally get out of the whites and tans and go towards darker, kind of more contrasty colors.
Yeah, got it. And I can't remember, are you a rattle or a no rattle guy?
Man, I really not sure I have an opinion on it. I don't fish a lot of rattles. And again, when I talk about fishing dirty water, we're not talking about fishing brown, blown out opaque water, because if we run into that, we're going to cancel or reschedule. And if that's the case somewhere, I usually have an option somewhere else that's, in better shape. But, just largely talking about some reduced visibility, foot, 2 feet of visibility. And, fish visually, I think have a fairly easy time finding flies in those kinds of conditions. I think people don't give them enough credit. A lot of their reaction distance will shrink. And so, you do have to get closer to a fish with your offering, which usually means, more casts, working things more methodically. But, I have, especially in the musky world, played with rattles and the absence of rattles, and I really can't form a scientific opinion on it.
Fair enough. And so even though you've been fishing a ton, you managed to get an article out on Hatch.
Yeah. I had one about what I wish I could be doing right now, fishing for big techie smallmouth on the surface. Come out a couple of days ago. Just something I've been kind of holding on to for a couple months, but hopefully we can get back to some of that here in the next couple of weeks. We just got a couple more weeks of these dog days, and hopefully the temperature swing and moisture swing will help our water clarity and river level situation.
You're a little bit more optimistic than I am. I'm just sitting here going like, gosh, are we going to have to wait until after Labor Day for it to cool off?
Well, I don't have much of a choice.
Well, folks, we love questions on the articulate fly. You can email me or DM me on social media, whatever's easiest for you. And if we use your question, I will send you some articulate fly swag and probably throw in a butcher shop sticker or two and enter you in a drawing for some cool stuff for Matt at the end of the season. And Matt, I know you are already pretty well. I know you're probably completely booked up other than cancellations for smallmouth, and you've kind of started to crack the books on the muskie thing, but you want to let folks know kind of what you have available, how to reach out and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. Definitely looking at, fall, winter fishing. Next dates I'm going to have open are going to be in, probably early second week of December or so. But really haven't started booking real heavily for muskie season yet. So there's a lot of open dates there. If that's something you're interested in, it's worth reaching out, start talking about it so we can, whether you've, not done it at all and want to, have a strong introduction, or, you're looking to, target a bigger fish, or, learn something in particular. There are some nuances to the different portions of the fall, winter, muskie season. So if it's something you're interested in, definitely reach out and we'll kind of start figuring out when would be best to book a trip. I really, really like having the ability to do that, especially with muskie clients, because it's not an easy game. And, more than anything, I just like to focus on teaching folks and, showing them sort of the most valuable day to their fishing as possible. And, if I can help it, I really don't want to take a beginner in January. And if, so that's a conversation worth having. But you can get in contact with me, as always, through my website, MattReillyFlyFishing.com. It's got my phone number, email, all that on there, and just reach out however you feel best.
Well, there you go. Well, folks, as always say this time of the year, first of all, stay cool, but show it yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Matt.
Thanks, Marv.